Into a little bit of diplomacy today over here on Backstabber. To be honest, I have been playing diplomacy since I was around 15 or 16, and I wish I would have started recording games like right around that time, whether it was video or once streaming came out. I wish I would have done that, because I think diplomacy is one of those games where if we can get the technology right, there's definitely a competitive landscape out there. A lot of really great players, both online and in face to face. And I also believe that there would be a lot of people that don't currently play diplomacy that might be interested. So part of the reason to actually go through with the Twitch stream and also share these videos over on YouTube is to start a movement towards that. I'd love to see other people streaming their diplomacy. Of course, there's an element that comes to play, for example, in poker streams where you're on a delay, and so that's going to be something that has to be worked out. But I did want to go ahead and, while I was playing any game, go ahead and stream it as well. So I think that's enough preamble for now. Let's just jump into some diplomacy. And just 1 second while I just make sure that this is all running, since I haven't been up on the Twitch stream in a moment. And I want to make sure that I'm actually live. So bear with me 1 second, guys. And it looks like I am good to go. I'm just off screen, obviously taking a quick look. And I want to make sure I update on all of my information. And just getting this out to the network so people know what's going on. Obviously, I'm playing diplomacy, and I actually don't know. Yeah, this is going to be a category that is going to be new. It's not looking like a lot of people are playing diplomacy right now, but that's going to change. That is going to change. Yeah, it's not even a tag for diplomacy. There is a category for it. However, I'm not sure if that's something that is yeah, we'll see how popular this becomes. I think it's going to be something that becomes more and more popular. So right away, I'm over here on Backstabber. This is one of the many platforms. There's WebDip, JDip, playdiplomacy.com. There's a few others. I haven't played in all of them. I used to play in the DP Judge back around 2003, 2004. That was around when I first started playing. Actually, I might have been playing a little bit sooner than that, because I was a sophomore in high school in Houston, Texas. I'm now in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I've been around the world. Indonesia, China is where I graduated high school. And now I'm coming at you from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So let's just jump into this game. Spring 1901. Let's go. Russia looking for an alliance, working together. DMZ the Black Sea. All right, I'm Turkey. And, I mean, you know what I want to do. I'm obviously not looking to do that. And I'm not sure if he can see that I've played no games on Backstabber yet. If so, he may go for such an opening salvo, but obviously I can't accept that. So how do I reply to this? I'm probably looking to open to Armenia, to be really fair. So how do I actually want to start this? And by the way, I'm used to playing quite a bit of face-to-face. The Minnesota Diplomacy Club has now played 16 games this year, 2019. And I do like that, but I wanted to look into a lot of the online platforms to see what I thought they were doing well, and maybe what could be improved as I consider doing something myself in the more longer term future. I have to become a much better programmer first. Like what Backstabber and all these guys are doing is really, really good. So, hey, I wonder if I want to use my creativity that I used to use in the Judge. I used to play around with this kind of stuff. Greetings are. I probably won't continue with that just to keep it quick. I don't want this to take too long, especially as I'm playing multiple games at one time. Greens are definitely open to collaboration ideas. I'm not going to say no. He was the first person to jump in the game as soon as it started. I just joined a game that had 6 out of 7 players, so I was able to start right away. Do you think you will get Sweden? If not, I could probably help you into rum in Follow 1. I mean, this is all non-binding, of course. That's the game of diplomacy. So just to show that, I'm probably looking to play something like this. To be fair, so if I want to play even more standardly, I could open like this. Now here's a case where I'm probably just going to be upfront with him about DMZing the black. Gosh, I could also play the Ship of the Desert, which is this opening. What that accomplishes is if it puts my fleet on Armenia, it probably puts his fleet in the Black Sea. Unless he wants to go to Rum himself, I honestly, I'm honestly leaning towards something like this in a game where I can't read the players in a face-to-face situation. We're likely to bounce. Oh, I can't move his pieces. That makes sense. He wrote DMZ the BLA. I'd prefer to bounce to begin with. Gives us won't surprise the board. About a juggernaut. I think actually Backstabber is hoping I don't write novels in here, but right away I'm thinking I could use a little more space. I'd like to see the whole window here. Oh, look, maybe I can open this. Perfect. I was just taking an HTML and CSS course, and I learned to look for this little box, which lets you open that up. And if you're wondering, I'm running Grammarly. So that's why I'm getting these and I'll just be playful in the beginning. I'm not opposed to working with them. I want to see how the rest of the board plays. I want to give myself a chance to work with Austria and or Italy as well if need be. What's your standard with Russia? Do you think let's just put some ideas of him sending that unit north. If I do start an attack against him and Moscow goes to St. Petersburg over here, that's going to be really good for me. Best regards, the Sultan. That's me. Let's go. So what have I done here? Just to recap, this is what I have on the board is what I'm leaning towards opening with. I could open like this. This is the most standard opening. Something like this is called the Crimean Crusher. Basically, we'll probably bounce in the black, so I'll end up in Armenia. That's just as a hedge, to be honest, on Russia, and I can use it as a bargaining chip with Austria and Italy and even England, just to start some more interesting discussions, because I have that leverage against Sev going forward. Let's go ahead and send this. Definitely open to collaboration. Do you think you will be getting into Sweden? If not, I could probably help you into Ram and follow 1, probably to ensure you build. Prefer to bounce in black to begin with. We'll make the board 2. Worried about Juggernaut in that case. I mean, the Juggernaut, depending on how this goes, like if we're going to go for a Juggernaut, I'm honestly probably going to alert England to it immediately, so that England can be putting pressure on Russia so that I don't end up growing slower than my ally if I went that way. But honestly, I don't know if I'm going to want to work with him or not. We'll see how things go. Put that in. And let's look. Looks like I've just gone ahead and submitted that. So that's a nice piece there. Looks like there's no other press yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and say my introductions to these other players. Let's go ahead and have a quick chat with Austria here. Greetings. What is the Archduke? Is it correct? Archduke? I guess if I start telling a lot of players I'm opening to Armenia, they could use that against me, but then I'll find out. I'll find out if Sev goes to Armenia, for example. Then I'll know that Austria has informed Russia. But in that case, I'll be getting into the Black Sea, so I'll be totally fine with that. And then I'll know, that either of Austria or Italy let Russia know that, because that would be a really weird way to start with Sevastopol from Russia's point of view. I think what I need to do is put up another little window in the bottom so that I can show some sample moves that I'm playing with. Otherwise, this stream isn't going to be as interactive and interesting to watch. So I'm thinking about doing something kind of below this area over here on the left side, and maybe across the middle, some additional windows where I can sandbox and show you guys what I'm thinking about. Greetings, Archduke. Maybe I'll just be more direct in this case. Greetings, Archduke. I'm not going to give up what Russia has talked about yet, in case I do want to work with them. To be fair, Austria is a good ally for Italy because he can help keep is for Turkey. Austria's a good ally for Turkey because he can keep Italy at bay, and really, I don't want to get bottled up in the middle game from Italy and all of his fleets. And then, in a really good game, England will be pressuring Russia, and we can take down Russia between Turkey, Austria, and England. And eventually, in the mid game, I can stab Austria if I need to. But to be fair, I think it's going to be a slow grind with Turkey. Regardless, it's hard to grow fast, so I need to stay on good terms with all of my neighbors if I can to begin with. Hope your diplomatic proceedings are going according to plan. Let's get my window open. Greetings, Archduke. Hope your diplomatic proceedings are going according to plan. I'm love to explore how we might work together. I'm going to start with smear to arm. So my army in Bulgaria, smear to arm, to keep the Russian honest. Let's see, depending on your relationship with Italy, I could consider supporting you into Greece in fall 1901. Best regards, the Sultan. My plan is to get a fleet down put a fleet down in Smyrna and ensure I have some safety against a possible eastern push from Italy. All right. Offer him a little something, stay pretty neutral, give away a little bit of my plan to go to Armenia. Actually, that's actually really good information for him to have. Really good information for him to have. So I see that backstabber allows multiple threads. So could I start another thread with Austria? I think I could. England. I'm also going to title this one the same. I think this is. I'm taking a little bit of a chance here by just putting little bit of a chance here just by putting putting ideas into England's head. Greetings, Prime Minister. Gosh, this brings me back to when I played in the DP Judgment. I just love this creative writing aspect of the game. Just had so much fun with it. I'm wondering if there's games that have like a limited press, like I can only send a couple of messages and I have a character count. That would be interesting. Otherwise, man, I could get really addicted to this and be playing 20 games at once, which probably will happen. Here we go. I wonder, do I want to give up part of this plan to England as well? I mean, if Russia's weak, it's going to be pretty good for me. It'd be nice if I could get Sev at some point in 02 or 03 or even 04 if it takes that long. If Italy's on side, if somehow Italy's on side with me, I could build a fleet in Con or Ankh, and use that in the Black Sea. I'm wondering how I can stir the pot between Austria and Italy. Like if they're fighting, like that's fine as well. I'm happy with that as well. If they're allied, if there's an AI, I'm happy with that as well in the early game. I just want to get my security. Best wishes as you begin your campaign. Best wishes as you begin your campaign. Players, but I am at your service should you need anything. I know that to work with me. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to work with me? A little suspicious of a northern opening, of a preference a Moss to STP. If that's true, you know what to do. I mean, to see, this is the part where, like, if I think I need to be able to look into who I'm playing against here, in order to avoid insulting anyone's but see, we don't know who is who. In order to not insult anyone. So if you click away, you do lose your so here's how I can create a sandbox from this game. Perfect. I'm going to do that in a little bit. I want to finish out the press. Let's finish off this one to England. Okay, so it did save it. So guarantee Norway. Best regards, the Sultan. So yeah, I'm just going for this seed planting here. I would love to see England's fleets in North and Norwegian. This way, he at least can consider going to Barents, which will put pressure on Russia, which could be good for me. All right, hopefully I don't insult his intelligence there. I want to find out what happens if I clicking on these different characters here. It doesn't appear that I can find anything out about these players just yet. Doesn't appear that I can find that just yet. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, actually, it does appear there's some new press here. Russia, I'm definitely going for Sweden. I mean, you're going for Sweden, buddy, but I'm wondering if you'll get it from if Germany will bounce you. Definitely go for Sweden. Moss going north. So he's going to play either Livonia or St. Petersburg, most likely St. Petersburg. We'll trust you. Ultimately, I believe in sending a message of strength and partnership. France, England, and Germany will be fighting with each other. If you're on board, then we'll reach out to Italy. I mean, I gotta open the flag, buddy. I mean, if you're gonna open like that, fuck. Pardon my French. I don't think this is a good plan given what I've suggested. I said I'd prefer to bounce in the black. I mean, Russia has been talking with me, which is nice. It's nice to talk to other players who are in the game. The thing is, though, man, I can't sit here all day and have these negotiations. So, I think the rhythm I'm gonna have to get into is where I'm gonna be logging in for 1 hour or so, and I'm showing some of my negotiations. But if I'm trying to show it all, it's probably gonna be a lot. But I do like hearing myself talk and thinking through it out loud, so maybe maybe this is okay. So what would he want to know about Italy? I think from Italy's perspective, I mean, if Russia wants to go this way, how can I benefit? If he's all in, how can I benefit from this? I think it's by taking a partner in Austria, but I'm not sure. I mean, it looks like I'm going to get black. If I want it. So, I see. So if... All right, let's continue my discussion here. I think I need to hit up Germany here. Greetings. Greetings. Let's go with Greetings Kaiser. Good or bad or neutral news for you. In Sweden, I think I slightly prefer Austria. Which should be good news for you. Let me know if you disagree. I mean, generally, Germany's happy if Austria is in the game. Is there anything that I can offer? Immediately. There's not much that I can offer, but I'll put some feelers out there. Let's look again at Italy now. Fast or slow? I don't actually remember what we meant to call the Italian leader. This is a little embarrassing. A little embarrassing. I mean, minister? Should I just call him a minister? The prime minister as well? Greetings, minister. Maybe he's the minister of war. How fair your opening diplomatic discussions. Proceeding. So just seeing what the Austrian's up to. Trying to get a sense of what's going down here. France. Greetings, Presidente. How fare your negotiations? So this is where I can talk about the Russian wanting to go north, and I've alerted the English to that. So the English Channel should be open if England plays Fleet North and Fleet Norwegian, which he needs to do if he wants to ensure he picks up a build. So the question would be around if that's in my interests, and it's really not. But if France decided to come east, and he was happy that I gave him that information from the beginning, that would be good for me. That'd be good for me because he could put some pressure on Italy and allow me to expand into the Mediterranean. So I could go for that here. It's not. There's not much else for me to do with France as Turkey, but I could go for that. It really depends on what Germany, decides to do. If England and France become embroiled in a little bit of a fight here. But it could also just be used that English Channel Fleet as leverage on Belgium. I don't really know if I want to see the English Channel there from France. I'll just explain that to him. Best regards, the Sultan. Don't know if that does anything for me, but maybe it just creates a relationship that I can build on. So so overall, I like the plan. So this is the Russian neighbor I need to get right. Overall, I like the plan. Not sure what else to do with my fleet. Of course, I can play to Constantinople, but I can't risk. I can't risk him taking it. I mean, there's no one else yet replying. So I think I need to come back to this game in a little bit and see if I have some additional press, because it doesn't make sense to just because he's been the most forthcoming. It's only the first hour of the game. If you're set on F7 to rum, I'll obviously be able to support you from BLA. I mean, this is a little bit ridiculous. At least keep the rest of the board guessing. I can't take a chance. I can't take a chance him getting into the Black Sea. So I have to go for that. And so that's gonna do it for this video. Obviously, wrote pretty extensive opening press, and I'll be back. I'll be back to share additional streams of this particular game. Probably going to be streaming daily for the month of November, December. Well, we'll see. I'm always quite ambitious with new things, so that could or could not happen. Just like I could or could not go to the Black Sea. We'll see. All right, guys. I hope you appreciated that and look forward to more coming up. Take care, everyone, and see you again soon.